All right. It's getting ready to be. It's gonna be a delay, so I'm not gonna even look at that the live thing because it's a little. It's gonna be like a 10-second delay. All right. It's getting ready to be. It's gonna be a delay, so I'm not gonna even look at that the live thing because it's a little. It's gonna be like a 10-second delay. What's up, world? It's your boy Coach EV, aka EV the Geeker, and welcome to a live edition of the Geeker Report podcast, a podcast that we're calling Talking Hoops in the SIP, the girls edition. What's up, world? It's your boy Coach and today we have Eddie Young of the Mississippi Bobcats, and we have Cordarius Jones of DC Bucks that will be with us tonight. And so I'm telling you, I'm excited about it. I don't know what to do. Hold on one second. Y'all got to forgive me. I'm still experiencing. Do y'all hear that in the background, Eddie?
Yeah, I hear it, Coach.
Okay, hold on one second. All right, here we go. Hey, make sure I got you now, man. Please forgive me. We back. We here. We getting it together. It won't be this way all the time. I know we can't get back a first impression, but I apologize. Work with me. Listen, tonight we're going to be talking about some different things. The seasons have kicked off under a lot of adversity with the COVID-19, teams canceling games, all type of things. But fortunately for those who, some school systems aren't even playing right now. The Jackson Public School systems aren't playing until December the 19th. But we've seen some great basketball so far. So we wanted to just jump in tonight and talk about some teams that some impressive teams that we've seen so far, and then talk about some other teams that we've seen and what they have to work on just from our vision, from our viewpoint, along with some of our top 5 point guards, some of the top 5 wings, regardless of class, top 5 posts that we've seen. Just giving our opinion, man. Just try to encourage the people and the young ladies here in the great state of Mississippi. And I just want to make this clear for all of us. These are just our opinions, no different than when you watch Stephen A. Smith and, Shannon Sharp and all of that, although we won't be that foolish. This is not one of those things we're going at each other's throat. We're going to be able to disagree politely here. We may talk a little junk, which is, I think, cool and healthy. I know me and Eddie going to probably go at it a couple times, and that's great. I can't wait to just go at his throat. And then, me and Cora may disagree, and it's okay. It's not, some of you guys, it's no different in life. Some people like, Walmart, some people like Target. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to start out with the great Eddie Young. Eddie, talk about some impressive teams that you've seen so far this year.
Thanks for having me on the show tonight, Coach. Definitely appreciate the platform that you're creating for these girls here in the state of Mississippi. I'll talk about a couple of teams that I saw. Obviously, early in the season, got a chance to see Pontotoc. Of course, they've got a lot of talent. They're extremely well coached. Coach Cal Hurd does a really, really good job. He's got some really good young kids. Also, Columbus is really good this year. They've got 2 really good upsets early on in the season. I think they're going to be a team to watch for. Obviously, state champions. They lost a lot last year, but they're returning some really quality players. So I think Columbus is definitely going to be a team. They're 3-1 on the season right now. Actually, want to say, help me out, Cordarius, but I want to say they may have beat Pontotoc a week or so ago, Columbus High School. Um, and Northeast Jones is actually undefeated. They've handed Columbus their only loss on the season. So those are just some of the teams early on that are really peaking out right now that are really impressive. But I'll just kind of stop and let you guys chime in on a couple of teams that y'all seen.
Okay, Cordarius, why don't you jump in and you can talk about the teams that you've seen, and then maybe the few that Eddie had talked about.
Uh, I gotta throw out there that Hernando team being 5-0. Uh, they always start out pretty good, but this year with them losing so much last year, and folks thought they was going to kind of be a little rocky start for them. They started off impressive. Abby Harrison doing a great job just handling down in the post, scoring low and everything, rebounding tremendous. Um, Another team I seen that I thought people also thought that they was gonna kind of take a back seat to other teams was Olive Branch. They still the same on Olive Branch. They gonna get out and press you, play hard under Coach Thompson, and just a season. They're not really still impressive. Meridian Saturday, and they are a very small, feisty team with Deprecia Pope being the tallest kid they have, but they really get out there. Got a lot of good ball handlers, led by Patton in the backcourt. I really love her game, and I'm still high on the South Haven team. They played Olive Branch and South Haven back to back, but I'm really high once they get some young guards to start clicking. They're gonna be an impressive team to watch down the stretch, and I'll let y'all chime in on that.
Well, before and then we'll go back. Of course I haven't been up north to see those teams. Really excited. Obviously I know several of those teams have some very good players, and so I'm definitely excited to see them. Obviously we're going to see Meridian. I know that they're looking, after going to the semifinals and getting, in their minds getting upset by Clinton
Mm-hmm.
last year. I know they're going to be looking, trying to, make it back. This is Ariana Patton, the little General's senior year, who just signed with Jones, County. She's just as tough as nails. I mean, I saw her play in the North All-Star game, just fell in love with her. And so I know that, that with her leading the charge, along with the great Debrisha Pro, I got a chance to see her brother play. Hadn't seen much of her, but I know that she's been that has been recruited by high majors, and so you can't dismiss that. So I'm really excited to look at them play. Definitely Olive Branch. Coach Thompson is no question in my mind a legend, a legendary coach. He's won 7 state championships. He's arguably, if he is not the best girls coach in the state, at this point, he's a top 3. There's just no doubt about it. I don't know if there's any, and Eddie can help me, and you guys can help me. I don't know if there's a coach that's coaching right now on the girls' side that has 7 state championships that that are not retired. I don't know. I know he's. I know people, and talking to Maya Taylor and her dad a couple weeks ago, that one that they got stolen from them, they still, really they won that one too. And so, but my teams that I've seen this year, team that I was really impressed with was Brandon High School. Brandon High School, they are really solid, really well coached. They are led by 3 dynamite guards, Marley Freeman. Marley Freeman, just love what she's done with her body. I saw her in the summer. They've done a great job. Her and her trainers have done a great job in getting her in shape for the season. Look really good, can handle the ball, very good combo guard. Gabby, I just call her Gabby. Gabby Collier can really shoot the basketball. And for me, and from my perspective, she's the best shooter in the state of Mississippi on the girls' side. She can really shoot the basketball. And then you have an underrated point guard who hasn't gotten a lot of pub maybe that she deserved in Tandria Minor. She can really play. Uh, I just love I love her. She's to me the head of that team. She like Brandon's gonna go as far as she goes as far as leading that team. Those three are the ones. And then I also got a chance to see Germantown. Germantown went deep into the playoffs last year. They're 1-1 right now. Brandon is 3-0. They're 1-1, and put an asterisk beside that. The great Madison Booker, Maddie Balls, didn't play in the only loss that they suffered this year. She's capable. They have some very good players. Obviously, Elena Rouser is another player who's going to be. Me and Eddie disagree on this. She's going to be no question a D1 player. It's no question. Now, how high she goes, that's yet to be determined. Eddie got a little higher than me right now, but I think she's gonna be still, a D1 kid. I just don't know how high. And then they have some other complementary pieces that can play to go along with the 5-star talent. Madison Booker, who I was arguing with somebody. I'm not gonna call her name. In that Madison Booker. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this right now. And as the kids say, you'll hear me swinging on Madison Booker for all year. She's one of the best girl basketball players I've ever seen. And she will, when it's all said and done, she should be a top 5 player to ever come out of the SIP. And I've seen a lot of players over the last 28 to 30 years. And her skill set is very, very impressive for a 15-year-old child. So those are my, 2 teams that were kind of impressive. And I'll tell you another third one for me, Clinton High School. Clinton lost a lot. They lost arguably the state's best player, Jacayla Johnson. I know India Buford, I think, won that award. But you can, if either one of y'all got a quarter, we can flip it up. I think both of them were really, really good. Jacayla's over at Jones County Junior College. She'll be, in my estimation, she'll be a high major player, just a player. And so people weren't expecting too much from Clinton, but Clinton was really impressive. They got a very good coach. They got the Taylor Felton coming in as a freshman, nationally ranked, no question, a top 100 kid in the nation at the guard. They got Caitlin. Eddie, you got to help me. Is it Caitlin Miller? Is the last name? Is that, what is it? Caitlin Walker. Which one is it?
Walker.
Caitlin Walker, whatever she is. She's a goon. She's flat out goon at 5'9". And then they have the young lady who played last year, Ariana. Is it Ariana?
Ariana Durrell. Yep.
Ariana Durrell. She can shoot the basketball, very athletic. I know y'all probably thinking, man, why you don't have those names? I'm just going off, even from my own memory right there. And sometimes my memory, is challenged, So those are some teams. Who are some other teams that you guys have seen that may have disappointed you, or maybe not even disappointed you, but maybe are a little young and you're interested to see how they develop over the course of the year? What about you, Eddie?
Well, first of all, Coach, let me just touch on Clinton. We're going to agree to disagree on Clinton. I think Clinton has played, obviously, 2 really, really weaker opponents. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Obviously, with high school basketball, a lot of times if you're not recruiting kids, you're kind of stuck with, who's coming to your school. So Terry, obviously, their first game, I think Clinton High School played against Terry. Terry was obviously lost a lot of, I want to say 4 starters from last year's team. So they only returned 1 starter. They're not going to be a strong team this year. And also Humphreys County lost their starting backcourt, which was led by 2 younger kids. Jada moved to Dallas, Texas. She's obviously, for personal reasons, staying with her father. And Darren Naya Wright, which is one of the top 3 or 4 players in the 2024 class. She's a 2-year starter from Humphreys County. She actually went to the academy school, so she's at Humphreys Academy, and I got a chance to see that game. So before we start crowning Clinton as a as a team, coach. I think we need to see more of them. I definitely agree with you. They've got some experienced kids and Kanaja Flowers and Caitlin Walker and as you alluded to, Ariana Durrell and Taylor Felton being one of the top freshmen in the state. But I need to see more of Clinton. To your second point, I think Raymond High School 1-2 punch with Zykeria Anderson and Leah Sutton, probably one of your better backcourts in the state. Zykeria Dandy Does and Leah Sutton, a consensus top 5 recruit or prospect in the 2023 class. I think Raymond went the semifinal team last year, which was led by those two players. I think when you've got two really good guards like that, they can defend and they can score with a lot of experience from the AAU side. They've got a lot of basketball under their belt. I think Raymond is going to be a team that, again, like I said, went deep into the playoffs last year. I think a team that can go deep again this year. So that's one team I definitely would stick, kind of look out for. Cordarius mentioned Olive Branch, which again we all know what they've done has just been remarkable. I know they've got a transfer or two in. I think you were alluding to the Addison Howell kid from Oxford who transferred into Olive Branch. I think that's a huge addition to them this year. Obviously losing India Buford and a lot of veteran players that they had last year. But again, like you said, they're reloaded and they've got some talented kids. So Olive Branch, I had them preseason. I think just outside the top 15. They're definitely now with the tools that they have, I think is a consensus top 5 team in the state of Mississippi. So I'm looking forward to them to continue to improve and I think be a really, really tough out for anybody in Class 6A this year. So Cordarius, I'll just kind of stop and let you kind of chime in.
Oh, I can't believe I forgot Tishomingo County High School been playing. Incredible ball. They lost a heartbreaker to Belmont the other day on the buzzer. So I got to include them, led by Martin Nunley and Clara Garland. Clara Garland been playing really well, more active, finishing under the rim. I'm very impressed by her. Got to throw in Senatobi, state champions. I seen them play Saturday. They still scrappy. They still getting out on the break. They still got young guards coming in that's going to play hard. So when you're talking about 3A, you're going to probably have to include them. Tupelo, I seen them on a couple live streams. I want to see them do more. I know what they can do. I know what they're capable of. I think, and they on quarantine right now. So hopefully they can get their mojo back. They haven't lost. So, by us leaving them out kind of slight, but I know they can do more. They got too many threats for them not to do more. They actually, my face say, because they just so deep. They got a lot of young pieces. Pontotoc, they're gonna be better. I seen them without Samaya Brooks. I seen them with somebody on some film and stuff. So I'm going based off that. So I'm gonna kind of leave that as a question mark right now. But I think they'll be there at the end because they well coached and stuff like that. So I leave that as a question mark. But I think Senatobi and like I said, and gonna be there. Tishomingo, we can't leave them out. Belmont playing good basketball up there in the Northeast, so can't leave them two teams out there. They gonna be there at the end. Both all 3, 4 of them programs I just named.
Before EV comes back, I do want to touch on Columbus, who's 3-1. Coach Harrison again has done a remarkable job with that group. But Northeast Jones or Northeast Lauderdale gave them their only loss. But Columbus has actually started the season with 2 top 10 upsets. I don't know if you call them upsets because I think they're a top 10 team themselves, but I think they beat Louisville with the Dandy Dozen, Ariana Hunter, and Kirsten Ball, and Ari's little sister, Anaya Hunter. Okay. So Jacelyn Houston, 2023 forward that's really, really coming along. I'm hearing some really good things about her down in Louisville. So the fact that Columbus actually beat the Louisville team as well as Pontotoc, bodes well for Columbus, who I think is off to a really good start despite the loss to Northeast Lauderdale, which I'm really curious to kind of see how they progress the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm with you on Columbus. They always good.
Now we've talked about some of the teams. Talk to me a little bit about Cordarius, some of the top players that you've seen, some other top players that you've seen so far. We talked about some impressive teams. Who are some of the impressive players that you've seen so far?
Well, I'm gonna go off only what I seen Abby Harrison. She playing out her mind. She's a very
Absolutely.
skilled big. She can shoot the three now really well. She rebounding. She's putting them back in the hole. She developing footwork better on the block. I really like what I'm seeing by Abby Harrison at Hernando. And if anybody had any questions, I think she answered them this year, and she's gonna lead that charge over there at Hernando. Addison Howe, Olive Branch, 28-15. I think she had 18 two other times, 16 to 18 in the first two games. The girl can score the ball. Like she can really score the ball. I want to see her more, but she can really score the ball. I think Olive Branch picking up her, that puts them right back in the mix. Like you said, that just put them right back in the mix. Olive Branch top 5 team in the state, right back in the mix with that Addison Howe transfer. They just put them there. I seen Tierra Abram the other day from Senatobia. She looking really good on the pull up. Her mid range look good. Jumper looking good. Taylor Woodhouse put on an impressive performance the other night with 29 points with 2 people coming at her. Then Olive Branch, she had 24 with 4 people coming at her. Hey, if the kid got it. Like her heart is there. She's rebounding. She getting hit in the mouth coming back in the game. You just got to give her credit. Like them 2 big nights of taking punishment like that, and she went and worked out today. So if another kid did that in the state and went and worked out today, let me know. And I'm gonna have to put Ari Winston up in there. You can have D1s all on the floor, and she the kid that you'll be like, if you got basketball eyes, you're gonna keep supposed to have. And it just, if you go to the game, you put all your biases and all what you think. You just sitting there watching. You don't know nobody's name. You gonna say that kid got 10 D1 off the way she moved, her body type. She rebounds. She's jumping to get a rebound. She's playing aggressive, high motor at all times. Sprung her ankle the other night. Got back in the game. Just really couldn't give it up. Tried to give it all. Hey, and the preacher Poe. Hey, I love her. I love big forwards that can shoot the ball. She's like 6'1". She probably gonna play the 3 at the next level. Very impressive player to me, and that's just been what I've seen. Players like Juicy, Elisa Wilson, I know she's gonna be better later on in the season, and she had some big numbers early. I didn't get a chance to see them games, but I know what she can do. So that's just my opinion on the kids I have seen.
Yeah, I want to touch on.
Let me
Go ahead.
jump.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Eddie, because I'm gonna jump in on it. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to touch on one kid really quick. I got a chance to see her when she was 5th, 6th grade, and I believe sixth grade. And so youth basketball league in Natchez, and the director called me and said, "Hey, Coach Young, you need to get down here and see probably the best 5th or 6th grade kid ever from our area." So I said, "What's his name?" And they said her name is Jasharia Hunt. Jasharia Hunt from Franklin County is averaging about 30 points a game right now. She is a monster. I know you hadn't had a chance to see her yet, Evie, but she's definitely a kid that you guys are going to want to watch progress over the next year or so. I mean, can get downhill, a freakish athlete, can defend. I think she's a mid-major player. Her time is coming. I think she's pretty close to obviously getting some swag offers, but Jasharia Hunt from Franklin County is very impressive early on in the season, and a kid that started off in my program. And I'm really impressed with how much she has improved over the years. I mean, over the obviously this season, and off to a great start, averaging about 30 points a game. And hats off to Taylor Woodhouse too. Being able to score 29 points and the numbers she put up against Meridian. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to see the game, but from what I'm hearing, she really did a great job. And, facing, like you said, the double and triple teams and the type of coverage that they put on her, man, she, that's impressive that she has been able to do what she's done. Tremendous start to the season as well. But those two guards are really clicking on our cylinders right now. So go ahead, Evie. I'll shut up and listen to you. I'll listen to this garbage that's going to come out of his mouth because I know it's going to be some garbage, man.
Absolutely not. I don't have, like I said, I'm gonna go back to you on the thing. I just wanted to throw in that I think it is a sad shame, and I want to make this, just clear, crystal. This is very crystal clear that our Ari Winston does not have a Division I scholarship. I think that it says a lot. If you're in a 3-hour radius, and I know some college coaches may get upset with me, and that's okay. I understand. I've been doing this for 28 years, and people get upset. I say crazy stuff, and I back it up, but I think my percentage on hitting and missing is pretty good. Ari Winston, there's no question. When I first saw her, I saw her lock up Amaya Ford from Starkville. Couldn't go around. Ford couldn't put. Ford is going to, whom I think is a very, very good basketball player. I think she's a Division I player who Louisiana Monroe stole.
High level player.
I think she would have been. She could have played higher than that.
Yeah.
But Ari Winston, when I first saw her this summer at Eddie's tournament, I saw a young lady who can defend 5 positions. She's 6'1", and when they switch out on the screen, she was right there. And I was like, oh man, she's pretty good. Now, the thing I didn't see was her offensive game. I thought her offensive game lacked a lot, the game I saw her. But then I saw her later in the year, maybe about a month and a half, 2 months ago, down in Alabama with Coach Jones, and I saw her finishing left and right hand around the basket. And then you see her high school right now, she's averaging around
like 16.
Yeah, on the games I
16,
saw,
15 rebounds.
Yeah, so you're talking about 16 and 15, and some nights she's had 22 and 12. There's no reason in the world, and I think it's a sad shame. It really is. I can't you can't get mad at Jackson State. Jackson State got they didn't pick everybody else in the state, so they didn't pick off. So I can't look at Jackson State. I'm not gonna call them no names, but I can't look at Jackson State right now because they've gotten a major haul in. But for this young lady, out of any kid to me that I've seen in this state, if I had to pick one kid, especially from the post standpoint, it's Ari Winston. It's no question in my mind. She would be right now in somebody's rotation because of her energy. I saw her play on film, and I saw her sitting down guarding Raymond Piggy, Raymond Piggy's a very good guard out of Olive Branch, and she was right there. So here's a 6'1" girl that can guard. Let me make it clear again, the 1 through the 5, and the fact that she doesn't have a Division I scholarship from people, and I say a 3-hour radius, because and I know the COVID, I know that's happened, and you haven't been able to get out, and I think that hurts somebody like her. But I know personally, I've made some calls to some colleges on them, and I know I'm not, people don't know.
I want to get in on what you're saying, Evie. It been a lot of D1s hit her up. It just never put the nail in the coffin, which I never understood. And I'm not gonna be that coach to say that this player is this and this and that all the time. But that particular kid right there, Ari Winston, somebody should have been pulled the trigger on that. It just, like you say, it's sad. It really is. It's sad.
It is, Coach, and I know that's your kid. But I see all the kids from Mississippi as being my kids. That's how you guys. I've talked to you guys off camera. And, my passion behind why I do Mississippi Play Sports is to make girls basketball relevant. I'm biased Mississippi, no doubt about it. And Winston should have a D1 scholarship. Evie, I've had a couple of schools that have reached out to me that didn't know, that I assumed that she was in our program and just reached out and asked. And, of course, I endorsed her right off the bat because I think that she should be able to play at a Division I level, no doubt about it. But encouragement to Ari, if she's listening to this, Jayla Alexander was the number 1 player in the state of Mississippi a couple of years ago. Post Christmas, I think she might have had 1 or 2 D1 offers. From January to February, Jayla Alexander picked up almost 40 Division One offers in a 30-month span. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen with Ari, but a lot of times everybody's journey is different. So Ari or any other kid that may be listening to this, don't get caught up into what other people are doing. Don't get caught up into when other people are signing. You want to stay inside of God's perfect will for whatever He has for you. And one thing I know is that you can't miss what God got for you. So you keep working and keep grinding, you will get it. But I definitely think that it's a tragedy, without calling some names, that this girl don't have a D1 offer. I think she's the second best post available in the 2021 class after Jaquasia Bailey from Calhoun City. And I think that they're pretty close. I just think Quay just can do a little bit more, and it really depends on what you're looking for from a college standpoint as well. I know Coach Ashley Walker at Valley has offered Quay, and I know Alcorn is State University. Coach Robinson has been reaching out to us about Jaquasia Bailey, but those two post players are two, flip a coin. Those are the two best 2021 post players we have available in the state of Mississippi. So definitely need to be on those girls right away because they can come and impact any program because they can defend. They got motors, and they're just tough, old school basketball players, which any coach would love. So,
no, you're right. You're right. Ed. You're right. I will go with my girl first, but I know we had this talk before.
yeah. Oh yeah, you're supposed to.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Another, as far as for me, another impressive player that I've seen, and here I am, and those of you in Mississippi, you're going to get to know who I am because I will say outlandish things, which seems outlandish.
They're very outlandish, man. You way out there sometimes.
Yeah, I'm a visionary, and so I've been saying that for years, and different things. I get ahead of the curve, and I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem being wrong because at the end of the day, it's all opinion. I'm not gonna make any baskets, and I'm probably better. I was a better basketball player myself than probably 80% of the people that even comment or think they know basketball. I say that humbly too. You can check out my YouTube highlight. But anyway, so I feel I'm qualified to talk about, some of the things that I talk about. But one of the most impressive young ladies I've seen this year so far is a 12-year-old from Holmes County Central who's probably not averaging but about 4 points a game, 5 rebounds and a couple blocks. But what she is, and if you see the vision on her, if you go, I would encourage you, if you had to go see one game this year, I would go see Holmes County Central. I wish Madison Booker would have played when they played each other a couple weeks ago because the people would have had such a treat to see the future of Mississippi. Kelsey Andrews, I'm making a statement today, November 15, 2020, will arguably be the greatest player if God allows her, Lord willing, as the old saints say. All she got to do is wake up. She will be arguably the best young lady ever come out of Mississippi. And, I know y'all can say, oh, Evie, you tripping. No, I know. I was just saying, I saw LeBron James as a junior in high school, and I came back to the barbershop and said that he was Magic Jordan. Well, he turned out to be, he's turned out to be one of the greatest. And I know you can say, oh, everybody saw LeBron. Well, no, they didn't. But I'm telling you, Kelsey Andrews, 12 years old, the best 12-year-old I've ever seen in my life, 6'3", runs the court, unbelievable skill set, shoot the three, handles. Watch out for her. She's somebody you need to go check out and see. And you'll be able to see the vision. Stevie Wonder saw it, as a matter of fact. So
we played against with my 17-year-old. I was surprised that she was 12 years old. She was out there like, I was like, oh no, that girl, y'all lying, get away from me. I told one player, get away from me, y'all. That girl ain't no 12-year-old. You're right, I'm with you on that.
I think she got one more growth spurt too. I think she'll get to be 6'5" or 6'6", and I think that's the deal breaker for her. When you talk about some of the greatest players to ever come through the state of Mississippi, you guys know Mississippi Play Sports. Several months ago, we released some of the top female basketball players ever to play in the state. the GOAT, LaToya Thomas from Greenville, may have something to say about, already crowning Kelsey Andrews. But I think we all know that Kelsey is a future professional basketball player.
So is Madison
And
Booker.
do what now?
So is Madison Booker.
Booker's phenomenal, no doubt about it. I mean, Booker's a tremendous player, and I'm glad that she's doing what she's doing. She's representing the state of Mississippi well, and I think it's always good when you've got kids like that, national ranked kids that can go out and make a name for themselves, because all they're doing is paving the way for the next kid behind them. It's always every 10 or 15 years, who's going to be the next great player. And the fact that we've got, 4 or 5 national ranked players in the state of Mississippi is a really, really good thing, and a lot to be excited about. I think when the in-state schools do well, obviously Mississippi State has set a standard here in the state of Mississippi for girls basketball. Ole Miss had a top 10 recruiting class this year. Coach Yo and Coach Mint, Chris Ayers and that group has done a phenomenal job of bringing in some of the top talent in the state. Number 1 recruiting class in the SEC. What Tamika Reed is doing at Jackson State, and LaShonda Cousins and Juanita Ward and that whole entire staff is unbelievable. And so I see the trend. Jones JUCO, obviously and we can talk about this a little bit later, but Jones JUCO, I think, has 2 of the top 3 or 4 guards in the country. Junior college ball, obviously getting Jayla Alexander was a complete steal for them, but I know we can talk about those things a little bit later. But what I'm getting to in a roundabout way is that when in-state teams are performing well, it interests younger kids. I run a youth program that starts with girls in 1st grade, and so I've got 1st grade girls who understand and looking up to some of these players on social media, and obviously drawing interest. So girls basketball for the state of Mississippi is in a good place, and it's because of kids like, as you said, Madison Booker of the world, national ranked kids. I know before then, I think Taylor Woodhouse was a Blue Star 30 kid. She was ESPN. A lot of people don't know that Woodhouse, as a freshman, was ESPN top 25 in her class as a freshman. A lot of people don't know that, but she came in with a lot of hype, received offers from Georgia Tech and some really good schools as an 8th grader. And Kelsey Andrews is the next star up. It's a no-brainer. That, I mean, when you see a kid like that at 12 years old, 6'3", that can rebound, and she wants to, and she's a basketball junkie too. She's got a passion for the game just from the past 3 or 4 years that I've seen her just being around her. She's definitely special, and God has really blessed her. So, but I don't know Evie the greatest ever. I mean, you love to kind of go out there and kind of hang yourself sometimes and kind of get out there in the middle of the ocean, Cordarius, but I don't know. LaToya Thomas was a four-time SEC, led the SEC every year. Every year she was there, 4 years in a row. The number 1 pick in the WNBA draft, the greatest basketball player to ever play in the state of Mississippi, and 2nd place ain't far. So, I mean, for you to go out and say the greatest ever, that's a lot to say. And I don't know, man, the GOAT may have something to say about that now.
Well, let me go ahead and just say this. And this with me, I'm talking a smidget ignorantly, but I don't think so. Because, see, I'm one of these guys, and I may talk about this. We have a boys show coming up, after this. I'm one of these guys that truly believe that athletes today, I was talking to, I'm not going to call her name, but if she watches this show, she knows who I was talking to. And she, was telling me about Madison Booker, like there was 50 girls better than Madison Booker in her mind. And I just thought that was ridiculous because, first of all, if you go back, most young ladies was not doing some of the things that some of these athletes are doing today. There's no way. I mean, I watched it. It's just like on the men's side. It is like, I'll give you an example. Bill Russell, as great as he is, would not dominate the NBA today. As great as he is, it's just no way. There's plenty. I can name several 6'9" guys that, and again, he's great. Don't get me wrong. He's great. But the athletes have changed today. They have more training. They have so many more things. So I'm not saying LaToya Thomas wasn't great. and she still is the GOAT. But I'm telling you this, that I saw Madison Booker the other day do some things that, and I trained personally Tiffany Gooden from Fort Wayne, Indiana, who was, you talking about, she was the #1 player in the country, went to Iowa, played in the ABL, 6'1", 6'2", scored over 2,500 points. And I trained Tiffany as she was going to the ABL. So at the top, at the peak of her career, and she couldn't do the things that Madison Booker does. Now, she was a better athlete. She was tougher. You know, don't get me wrong. There's some things that they still have to do. And I know people are saying, man, Evie, you putting too much pressure on her. Man, life's full of pressure. Let's just face it. We got pressure every day. Life, if they don't play no more basketball, they're going to have some pressure. So at the end of the day, they have to live up to the hype. That's all a part of it. And I'm saying this, girls today, as a whole, to me, are more talented, more skilled as females back in the day.
I think you're right. We'll let Cordarius jump in. I think you're right about, obviously, as the game has advanced, the skill is better because the training is better. The facilities are better than they were 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So obviously, I think the athletes are going to be better. But that's kind of a loaded argument, Evie, because you got to think about it this way. Toya Thomas could only play against the kids that she played against. I think when you, to me, I think Deprecia Poe is the best player in the state of Mississippi right now, regardless of class. That's my personal opinion, right?
And we totally disagree, but that's okay.
Well, and that's okay. And Cordarius may feel like Taylor Woodhouse is the best player in the state. I'm getting somewhere now. He may feel like Taylor Woodhouse. EV thinks that Madison Booker is the best player in the state. Now, those are three opinions. I came out of school with Toya Thomas. Guess what? When you said who's the best basketball player in the state, it wasn't I think this person, or I think Toya Thomas was clear-cut the best player in the state, and now everything is debatable. You see the difference? We can debate. Cordarius going to have a good argument.
You can debate. I can't debate on it.
Cordarius, you see the point that I'm making, though?
Yeah,
you see how it's still, you can have a great debate. Toya Thomas, when Toya Thomas came out of school as a high school player, listen, Pat Summitt came to the Delta, right? That don't happen, man. The legendary Pat Summitt is in Mississippi every week trying to recruit a kid. So to me, Toya was a unanimous no-brainer. It wasn't even a debate. But I still think Deprecia Poe is the best player in the state of Mississippi, and I'll shut up. Go ahead, Cordarius.
Okay. I mean, I didn't see her play, but with the accolades that you said, you said she won #1 in the WNBA draft.
#1 in the WNBA draft.
I mean, you can't. I mean, that's big. I'm always advocate of. I mean, until the kids do it, I just leave that blank. But I will say that you're right about. Okay, the reason why she probably far ahead of some of them girls, young ladies, because girls basketball is different. Like it's so competitive now. Like you said, the training. So it'll probably never be in the state of Mississippi a clear-cut #1 because there's always gonna be girls that's out here on the circuit playing on high-level teams. Like back in the day, it just wasn't like that. Especially in girls basketball, they was like dinosaurs. So, and Evie, we talked about that. I'm big on kids getting out here playing basketball. So, she probably, LaToya probably was the only girl that was out there probably just playing basketball a lot and working on her game. The other girls probably just meeting that 7th period and meeting the coach, and that was it. But it sounds special though. Hey, I'm gonna leave that blank though. I think Madison Booker is a little bit better prospect than Poe, but Poe good in her own right too. That's just me.
Yeah, it's not. I don't even know what. Like, be honest with you, and I'm not. As they say, beat a dead horse. I don't even know what Eddie's talking about. I mean, he's.
Let's get Ed. Okay, Eddie. What makes what you think valid? Like, why you think the Beach Pro is the best player?
We had a unbiased person. We asked the opinion.
Okay.
If Madison Booker and Deprecia Poe play one-on-one, they play one-on-one, who would win out of the 5 games? And what did that person tell you,
the brief approach. That don't mean nothing to me. Like,
Well, the point.
that's enough. I mean, you almost had me say, I almost said, man, that's somebody else's opinion. I don't.
Well,
You know what? You know what? Let's ask that same person on tomorrow, because after he's seen her play the other day, he might have a whole different conversation. Let's do that.
He might. But again, I think to get to what you said, Cordarius, I think the experience, the body of work, obviously means a lot to me. So I think that's the one thing. Madison Booker shows flashes that, I mean, my God, she makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up and the hair on your head. I don't even have hair, so Madison can do. And she's been doing. I mean, Madison. I've been knowing Madison since 5th grade, right? So I've been watching her play over the last 5 years or so. So she's a phenomenal player. I just think that Poe has more experience right now,
Okay.
and I think that, in my opinion, I think Poe is just a little bit tougher. You know what I mean? Just a little bit tougher, a little bit more experience.
And I respect that, because she's, like, in my
more
opinion,
experience can't beat that.
Yeah, she definitely got more experience. And, in my opinion, it's really Booker and Poe. In my opinion, I think they are definitely, two of the top, players in the state. And, by the way, throwing a plug, that'll get a chance to see. We'll be back, in about a week, so you'll be able to know who our top 30 players, regardless of class, are, because we've already done the show, and so you'll know who we decided to choose.
I got another question for Eddie, if I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Madison Booker, I feel like she can create a shot. She can create a shot for her teammates.
Right.
Is that important to you?
I think that's very important. A lot
I don't know
times,
if can Poe do that. And she's young, and she probably gonna do that and that might not be her game. But I'm saying, as we checking off the boxes, and I love, like, she shot the ball so well when I seen her. Like I'm in love with how she play. I think she high level, but can she do them things? Create her shot off the dribble, pull up, mid range, all 3 levels, and facilitate for the rest at 6'1", 6'2", just like Madison Booker.
absolutely. And let me say this too. See, one thing Evie likes all the whoop-de-doo behind the back and one stuff, and that has his place, and that's cool, because he's hero. He's hero of the moment now. I like a fundamental kid who still can do that. So with Poe, Poe can catch it 3-point line extended. She can rip through. She's got the pull-up game, which I think is a lost art in girls basketball or boys basketball, that mid-range jump shot. I wish more kids would work on that, but she has a phenomenal pull-up game. Booker looks a lot sexier and a lot smoother with that ball. I think Booker handles the ball a little bit better. But to answer your question, Cordarius, I think Poe has all of that in her game. It's just not as flashy as maybe Booker. So that's what
I respect.
He gets so caught up into all the flash and how you get there. For me, if you're driving a Pinto or a Rolls Royce, if the Pinto gets you there quicker, I want to drive the Pinto. Forget the Rolls Royce.
Yeah. And I seen her against a high level defender, and I know I like her.
Yeah.
Like, she was getting the shot, and she hit 4 for 5 from 3. So that means she hit every time she got a run. Yeah, and that's impressive. Like, that means you in the gym, first of all. You working on your game, that, So, I respect. Hey, if she listening, I'm no knock on your game, baby. There's no knock. I love it.
Yeah, and there's no knock for me either. I want to make it clear, and it's a good time to mention this again. We there, and this is a perfect time to interject this. There's about, wouldn't you say, maybe 400 teams, high school teams in the state of Mississippi?
At least that.
Okay, so now think about this, what we're saying. There's at least 10 players on each team. So that's 4,000 players. 4,000. I want to get that, 4,000. So if you're getting mentioned on this show or anybody's show, that means that that's pretty good. And so the fact that I think Madison Booker is 1 and Demisha Pro is 2, I don't think that's something to be upset about. That's not a hate. It's just like, is no different than I think Magic Johnson's the greatest player to ever play the game. And for me, Michael Jordan is 5, but I'm not going to go into all
now.
you know.
Y'all, I'm gone, man. Y'all have a good.
Yeah.
He said what?
I got 4 guys ahead of him.
Oh man!
I got Magic.
Don't be quiet.
Bird,
Don't be quiet about the Magic Johnson thing.
Bird, LeBron.
Oh man!
Hey, how do you delete yourself off of this show so I'll never come back ever again?
He got Magic Johnson 1. It's tough.
I'm saying. So at the end of the day, there's an old saying: beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And so at the end of the day, we just want to encourage. And then the other thing is, when your name doesn't get called, we want you to be motivated, not to motivated to make somebody aware. Because some of these girls that you mentioned, like the girl in Franklin County, I can't wait to go see her. I can't wait. I haven't seen Jaquasia Bailey from Calhoun. I can't wait to see her play. I want to see somebody, like change my mind. I'd like to see somebody do that. And you mentioned something I want to shift into it real quick about Jones County and some of the JUCOs. And I just want to throw a couple shout outs to a couple coaches who just got jobs recently in the JUCOs, who I think are doing a phenomenal job. And they're gonna I'm gonna be very interested to see how they do as far as, well, one, you can already tell who I think arguably pound for pound who may be the best coach in the JUCO ranks. Now I'm gonna go out throwing her. She for what she's done, I think she has the absolute hardest job in JUCO, and she has done a phenomenal job. She's changed the culture at Coahoma Community College. Stephanie Murphy. I mean, I got to give Stephanie. I want to give her a shout out, because she's no question taken the most difficult job. She took a program over that averaged 2 wins for a year for about 5 to 10 years. And she has come around, and they have increased their winning every year. They ain't gonna be able to sneak up on nobody because people respect them now. Stephanie Murphy is a star in waiting. And then another one I want to mention is Tangela Banks. Tangela Banks came from Murrah. I think as she, the jury's still out on Coach Banks. I love Coach Banks. I think Coach Banks is a good coach. She's won several state championships in high school. But I'm loving to see what she's going to do at Mississippi Delta. And so, we can't take anything away from Coach Missy at Jones. She's, just done a phenomenal job. The record speaks for itself. Had a Division I job, came back to Jones. So, she's definitely a boss, who does that, gets a Division I job and says, nah, I'm cool. I'm coming back. And they say, oh, okay, yeah, come on back. So Coach Missy has done a phenomenal job, and she is a star in the waiting. She's gonna, have plenty of other opportunities to move on. So, but I just wanted to mention those other two, Eddie and Cordarius. If y'all have some people that y'all want to throw out there on the JUCO, go ahead and do that at this time.
No, I'm gonna speak on Murphy. She did the work, COVID and all this year. She was almost at every one of our events, maybe except one, like all in Hoover, Alabama, North Little Rock. Like, we seen her everywhere. Down in Dixon, when we went down there Eddie event, like she was everywhere. So you can tell by, the things they doing. And, social media can be kind of misleading sometimes, but she definitely doing the work. Like, she developing a real relationship with these kids, and folks gonna be shocked, on some kids that she signed. And it's gonna be big. And I'm speak for ICC. They do a good job. They got a good team there already. So the proof is in the pudding for them. They got Maya Hatch and Dee Dee Shepard there already. So, I just want to big them up as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. Coach Murphy is a very hard worker. I think she's gonna turn that program around. She definitely doesn't have a lot of the resources. Her and Coach Banks, I think, have a really tough job recruiting and stuff. And I know they're in the midst. The school is making some changes at Delta to try to make it more appealing for them. But Coach Murphy is a hard worker. I was fortunate to get one of my kids, Gianna Marshall, 6-foot post player, to her this year as a transfer from Southwest. So she's up there with Coach Murphy, and she's doing well. So I think, definitely everyone's, obviously is trying to catch Jones in Mississippi. They set the bar extremely high. Missy and Coach Pittman, Lauren Pittman, and their staff down there does a tremendous job of representing Mississippi on the national level. I do want to throw two other names out there. I think Coach Williams at East Central does a really, really good job. He's a hard worker, man. He's out all over the place recruiting too. I think he'll do a good job and be very competitive this year. And then Scotty Fletcher at Pearl River, man, what a great job he did recruiting. Phenomenal class, man. He's a very, very dear friend of mine, and he's done a great job down at Pearl River. And I think that they will be one to watch. And not to be remiss too, the class that Gulf Coast had. Oh my God! I mean, last year, Coach Hope has done a tremendous job. Obviously, coaching a 5-star kid last year. So I mean, she's done a really, really good job down at Gulf Coast, getting in a lot of good talent. I'm interested to see Gulf Coast. I think they'll be competitive and continue to do well and represent Mississippi, and can go on and on. And a lot of the JUCO coaches support have been very supportive of my program and very supportive of my Mississippi Play Sports business and what we're doing. So shout out to all the JUCO coaches in the state of Mississippi, who I think represent us really, really well.
That's awesome. All right, moving around.
No doubt. I want to say the same.
Go ahead. Okay. All right. Good. Well, as we get ready we got these next about probably another half hour here. Let's dive into some of what we would say our top 5. I want to go over a couple things, and maybe you guys, I just, we talked about going over our top 5 point guards, regardless of class, top 5 wings, and top 5 posts. Now, for me, and I'm going to give you combos, because I even think the wings are a little different, than for me than even than combos. So it's kind of like the wings are going to be more like your 3s for me, and the combos are going to be those 1-2s. So I'll let you guys jump in, and then we'll do the 5 posts. And again, if you don't make this list, man, it doesn't mean, for me, I haven't seen a lot of people. Well, I've seen enough, but I haven't seen everybody. So some people I will miss. But these are just some people that we are, saying that are, just putting the top 5. And these are some people that you can just try to, go and, again, motivate you to say, no, I'm better than her. I'm cool with that. I had that mindset, because that's how it was with me. When people said that such and such was better than me, I had to go out and show them. And so let's start with the post. Eddie, give me your top 5 post players in the state.
I'll start with number 5, a kid that Coach Jones alluded to earlier in the show. Got a chance to see her this year, man. My God, I was impressed. Saw her younger and just wasn't impressed. Didn't see the hype, just like a lot of people. But she's been working on her game, and the proof is in the pudding. And that's Abby Harrison, 6'2" post from Hernando, Mississippi. She's got offers from USM. She's got offers from Louisiana Tech. Help me out, Cordarius. Who else she's got? I know USM.
I think Southern Miss, right? Southern Miss.
Southern Miss. Yeah, Southern Miss.
UT
Martin. Let's see.
I want to say UT Martin.
3 solid D1 offers. So I would definitely start off with Abby Harrison, as number 5. She's a 2022 6'2" post player at Hernando High School. My number 4 is a 6'4" post player, Clara Garland. Man, she's made some tremendous strides. Great rim protector. She's starting to develop some offensive skills, rebounds well. She has a really good feel for the game. I know USM has offered her as well. They've also offered, I think she's got an offer from UAB or South Alabama maybe, but she plays on the Nike EYBL circuit. So she's a kid that definitely should warrant some more offers as she continues to progress and continue to do her thing at Tishomingo, which I think is a really good team that's going to do well this year. My number 3, and I'll be quick because I know we're short for time. My number 3 is a kid that me and Evie always debate on where she's going to land in terms of no-brainer Division I. She's the number 1 rated player in the 2024 class. Alana Rouser, 6-foot post player from Germantown. She's actually been working a lot on her game to transition from being just inside to now being able to work outside. She's developed a really good jump shot, even shooting the 3 ball, putting in the work. She's a hard worker, gym rat. She handles the ball well. Obviously, plays on our AAU program, but just she's being recruited by Florida, a lot of high major programs, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, USM, ULM. So Alana, she actually got her first D1 offer from ULM, and obviously Tamika Reed has offered her her first in-state. Jackson State and Tamika Reed offered her first in-state offer. So she holds 2 solid offers right now. That's Alana Rouser at Germantown at number 3. And number 2, I got Miss Offer Samaya Brooks, who's got nearly a dozen Division I offers already on the table. Samaya is a 5'10", 5'11" post player, extremely strong. She's worked on her outside game. She's got a nice soft touch, really good feel for the game. She can do a lot, very interchangeable, plays a lot bigger than her size at Pontotoc for Coach Hurd. So I got Samaya Brooks at my number 2. And obviously my number 1 post player is none other than Kennedy Ransom. She's been the number 1 rated player on my Mississippi Play Sports list for the past 2 years. I know EV and Cordarius is going to kind of rag me a little bit about that, and that's okay. I stand firm with all 10 of my toes down and my 2 feet down, and still stay solid on Kennedy Ransom, as she's the top prospect in our 2021 class, and then also the number 1 post player in the state of Mississippi, on her way to the Jackson State University for Coach Tamika Reed. Let me just say this too. Tamika Reed and Jackson State University. Oh my God. Man, they've done a tremendous job. So, but go ahead, Evie. You look like you're ready to get on to me, man. We gonna let Cordarius the young buck, he going last on this one because I want to hear your 5 post players, man.
Okay, I'll have a problem. First of all, I want to just make this clear, Eddie. I'm not going to go back and forth with you when you just talk silly. I'm just not going to do it. My mama told me to like when people say stuff crazy, just ignore it. So I ignored everything you just said right there. But I do want to know, who's your number 4. I was just writing that down. Who's
number 4 was Claire Garland from Tishomingo, 6'4" post player.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, got you. All right, let me go over. Yeah, at 5 for me, and this is, and I tried to just do this based on what I've seen, and I have to be honest. I'm going this off of what you told me, Eddie. To be honest with you, because I'm just trying to get the quality 5 post people, not just picking stuff out of a hat like you just did. My number 5 is Jaquasia Bailey. When you told me that she can get a rebound and just push the ball herself, and she's got a lot of energy. She's got a Division I offer to Valley. I took that into consideration, and I respected you for that. You're the one that sold me, and so I feel that you sold me something positive. Now that you told me those other 5, now I'm questioning that. So I just want to let you know, you told me that, and I went with it. Then you come and name that. So, but it's cool. Now, those 5 are good players too. Number 4, and this young lady wouldn't have been one of my top 5 posts a week ago, but I got a chance to see her play, and I was really impressed. And I'm looking at projection down the road, and they got a very good player, 6'2" kid from a young lady from Northwest Rankin, Taylor Dupree. I'm really excited about her long-term potential. She can get out and guard. She can protect the rim. She's wiry, strong. She got a motor. As she continues, she can make, got decent form on her free throws. As she begins to develop a face-up game where it's, a quick jab, jumper, jab and go, finish left, finish right, that will happen in high school. I think that she's going to be somebody you could look back at 4 or 5 years from now and say, man, that's a good pickup for UT Martin. At number 3, and really she could easily be number 2, and I'm only giving her number 2, 3 because she, and she really could be number 1 in my mind. These next 3, you can really flip a coin, but from South Haven, a walking double again. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about how great she is in D1, and I ain't gonna mention her in my top 5. I mean, and again, I'm giving her 3. She could easily at any, it's one of those things where if me and you had first pick, and I don't know who I really would pick, but if you pick, the other one, and I got Ari Winston, I'm cool. I feel real good. I feel really good. I'm just as excited as I can be. She's number 3 for me. Number 2, Kennedy Ransom. What I like about Kennedy and watching her, she's wiry, strong. She's athletic, plays hard. I think a good fit for Jackson State. And then at number 1, Alexis Roberts, best post player in the state to me. Go ahead, Cordarius.
I didn't know. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go off of what I have seen this year. I'm not gonna do the ranking thing because we got a whole show for that. So I'm gonna go off what I've seen this year because since we already did the show top 30, I'm gonna go off what I have seen with my own eyeballs, either this live stream or in person. So I got a tie with Clara Garland and Abby Harrison at 5. They both really big players. I think Abby a little bit more skilled than her. She can shoot the 3, but I got them at the time. Number 4, I'm gonna have to go with Kennedy Ransom right now. Number 4. When I seen her playing DeSoto Central, I just feel like she done did it all 2 times. Danny does it. I'm just saying what my eyeballs have seen this year. I got Kennedy Ransom from Madison Central, number 4. Number 3, I got to go with Alicia Wilson. I'm talking about this year, this season, 34-10, 25-22. And I don't want to get incorrect stats from the last game she played, but you got to give her that credit. You just have to. I know a lot of other players, you put out, but if you like Evie just said, if you're picking a pickup game and all these kids out here and they saying who they want, I bet a couple players on your list, Eddie, ain't gonna get picked. That's just how it is. If we picking and we say we're gonna go win the game, a couple players on this not gonna get picked. Number 2, post player. I don't know if you can call her a post player though, but I seen her playing the post for them is Deprecia Poe. I'm gonna put her as a forward post, whatever we can say. Then number 1, I got to go with Ari Winston. She just, I like I said, if you picking and we playing a pickup game and we letting these kids out here pick, they definitely gonna pick Ari, and a couple of them girls is gonna be left off. It's just how it go. But that's people's opinion. It's just how it go. But I'm going off athleticism. She gonna shut down mostly all the girls that's on these lists right here we just named. And if you want, and the thing about college coaches, I know they want to look at certain stuff, but if you want production, all these college coaches say they want people that can switch out and do all this stuff. Because so many folks hitting the 3 ball so much at this day and age, you gotta put her value gotta be higher. It's nowhere. You're not gonna get her posting up on the block. You're not gonna get her shooting a 3. You're not gonna get her going between her legs and going to rim, but you're gonna get production. So if production is what it is, then I got a number 1. So that's my top 5 post that I have seen this year. I haven't seen Samaya Brooks this year because she was out when she played at Hernando. So not trying to discredit no kids, but that's the 5 I have seen this year.
So you got Ari, Poe, and who was number 3 for you?
Lisa Wilson, Juicy.
Oh yeah, Juicy. And who's 4?
Then I got Ransom.
Okay,
who's Ransom 5? At 4. And then I got and Abby Harrison tied 5.
With her and who? Abby and who?
Clara Garland.
Clara Garland.
Clara Garland from Tishomingo.
A tie 5. And I'm just going off what I have seen this year.
I'm sorry, guys. Let me jump in real quick. Deprecia Poe, Cordarius, I think by default is playing the post because, like you said, they don't have Meridian doesn't have a whole lot of size with Ariana Patton and Charity Hinton and some of the girls they got they're really guard heavy team. But I wouldn't list me personally. I wouldn't list Poe as a post player. She won't play post in college. She's a 2-3.
Yeah, that's what I got her at too. I agree with you. I got on the wing. With that being said,
no, most definitely. I just seen her playing the 5 though. She, I just seen she posting up at times. She going out to the wing. So I'm saying, just off my evaluation this year, and I don't even have Brooks and I don't have Alexis Roberts, like them top players in the state. I don't have Taylor Dupree, them top players. I'm going off what I have seen this year. I just want to change it up on y'all. That's all.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm going off what I have seen.
I like that geek.
Yeah.
That's a good geek. I mean, like I said,
and I'm riding it all night. What I have seen this year, I'm riding. I'm finna pub some kids that don't normally get that pub. We finna put them out here tonight. What I have seen this year. That's it.
And I think that's a good thing. Let's move along. Because we got about 10 more minutes, and then we're gonna have to shut it down for this week. We're gonna be able to, I want to begin to start updating as often as possible, maybe come back next week as well. But the wings, Eddie, give me your top 5 wings.
Okay. Yeah, I got a tie at number 5. Can you guys hear me okay?
Uh-huh.
At number 5, I got a tie. Darren, now you're right. Top 2 or 3 player in the 2024 class from Humphreys Academy. Actually transferred from Humphreys County. We talked about her earlier in the show. 5'9", super athlete, has been starting varsity since 7th grade. Last year averaged a double figures, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 5 or 6 assists a game. She's a stud, a kid that a lot of people don't know about. She got a chance to play in our AAU program last summer. Definitely sky's the limit for her. But she's a tremendous athlete that I think that could, when she puts it all together, she's one of the few high major type of talents that we have in the state of Mississippi. So Darren, now you're right, is a split with Michaela Riley from Tupelo, whom I love. Michaela Riley is just, she'll do it all type of guard for Tupelo and Coach Justice. She can score at all 3 levels. She's her jump shot is a lot better than what Evie thinks. She can finish left hand, right hand. She just can get it done. I love Michaela Riley so much so, she's obviously the number 2 best prospect according to Mississippi Play Sports in our top 23 kids in the state. So that's my split there at 5. At number 4, I've got a kid that I absolutely love. You guys talked about her earlier in the show, Amaya Ford from Starkville High School. I agree. I think Coach Brooks and Coach Jess and Amber from ULM came in like a thief in the night and stole that girl early. She's going to be a great asset to them. I think, she's definitely a mid to high major type of a kid, no doubt about it. I know she'll be a ULM, a mid-major, Sun Belt Conference. I think she'll do really good with Coach Brooks. So Amaya Ford, a freakish athlete, can do it all. I know we're pressed for time, so I'm going to run through. Number 3 wing, I got Melanie Timms from Choctaw Central. Mel is probably the most tenacious player in the state. She's like a honey badger, just tough as nails, can score the ball. I think she's got to work on her 3-point consistency. That's probably one of the few weaknesses she has as a wing. Even her left hand isn't as strong as I'd like to see. Her and Amaya Ford both need to work on the 3-ball. Let me just say they're really similar in that regard. They're going to have to work on their 3-ball and their left hand, but they're both 2 of the most tenacious kids in the state. But I've got Melanie Timms from Choctaw Central at number 3. My number 2 wing is Madison Booker. I know she's playing a lot of point guard for Germantown. Again, by default, a lot of these high school kids are having to play out of position for whatever reason. But Madison, to me, I think is a wing at the next level. And I've got Madison Booker at number 2. And I don't even think I need to say who I have as my number 1 wing. Obviously, none other than Deprecia Poe from Meridian High School, 6-foot post player. The best player in the state of Mississippi, Deprecia Poe.
All right. Go ahead, Cordarius. Give me your top 5 wings.
Top 5 wings. Number 5, gotta go with Raymond Piggies, Miley Branch, 2022. Probably one of the best shooters I've seen so far. And remember, my list is what I've seen this year. That's
That's right.
my geek, because we giving all the other kids pub, and I'll be saying the same list over and over again. So number 4, going Janiyah Jones from the Soto Central, 5'9" long. She's a shooter, can really get hot. She got hot against Madison Central. I don't know if you seen that Huddle video, but it was crazy. She was shooting threes from everywhere. At number 3, I just got to put her in. I mean, Michaela Riley, like you said, Eddie. I mean, she's a young talent. I really love her game. And I got a tie at number 3, actually. I want to put Martinelli and Tisha Mingo actually at number 3 as well. Number 2, she had a big day early in the season. They've been out on quarantine, a little bit out now on quarantine. But India Bourne is a special talent out of Horn Lake. Can really fill it up, really put points on the board. She's going to be special to watch years to come. And my number 1 wing so far, consistency is key with me. Macy Wildmont, give that girl some love, consistency, and they gonna be in they in 3A. They better watch out. Whoever in 3A down there in the South or whatever, they better watch out for that team coming out the North.
And we know Cordarius love the North, man, and I'm glad, man. Stay up north, so I don't have to compete with you about some of these kids down south, man. But I don't know, EV. Look like you got his whole starting lineup up in here, man. What's up with that, man?
I said what I seen. I gotta go with what I seen.
Raymond Piggy don't play for him. Janiyah Jones don't play for him.
Hey, probably don't, but I'm sure she's played for him at some point, though.
No. Not Raymond Piggies or Janiyah Jones. So
yeah. I'm just having fun with you, man.
Yeah.
My 5 wings.
Yeah, no.
My 5 wings. We rushed.
Go ahead, AB.
I want to get to them point guards, and my 5 wings are at 5 from Belmont. Macy Walker. I think she's very talented. She can shoot the basketball. As my guy Rashard Phillips says, she's really scores from all 4 levels. She got range out to the volleyball line. And I have a tie with her, another wing, again, from North Delta, Allie Alford. She can really shoot the basketball as well, and I know she plays the point for North Delta, but I look at her more as a wing for me. She'll be on the wing for me. Number 4, young lady who I absolutely love, and I think she's the best unsigned wing combo guard in the state. Janai Henn, Saltillo. She can score the basketball. She just can play. At number 3, I go with Maya Ford, going to ULM. Just 5'10", can do it all. Needs, like Eddie said, needs to improve her 3 ball. Number 2, Debrisha Poe, who is obviously, as Cordarius and Eddie have both alluded to, is a very good shooter, and as she continues to work on her ability to get by quicker guards and different things as far as handling the basketball, she's going to even be better. You can't take away the talent, though. She's a high major. And then obviously number 1, I shouldn't even have to call her name, the greatest player in the state right now, the greatest player I've ever seen as a 15-year-old young lady, Maddie Balls, Madison Booker. And so moving right along, let's go to the point guards. For me, I'm gonna have a bunch because I had point guard / combo. So, but I'll let you guys, Eddie, I'll let you close out this one, and I'm gonna go ahead and go at a tie. I'm just gonna name. I got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because all these girls to me were combos and point guards, and I just gotta mention them. So I'm gonna mention them in this order. At tie for 5. My combo /
Hey, EV, can you clarify? Are you going on like Cordarius, what you've seen, or in the state?
I'm going on what I've seen this year, meaning summer, and for me, summer and fall. I'm going on what I've seen, right?
Okay, you guys are going on what you've seen, and I want to clarify. My list is My list is predicated on who I feel projects to be the best players in the state. So I just want clarity so people can kind of understand the
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And I'm going off early season. So I want to put
And
that
I'm
out.
going
I'm going
off
off
of what I
early season.
project to be the best in the state too, but it's only with the eyes that I've seen. So I can't talk
Yeah.
about these girls. I project to be the best as well. I just
Well,
like
but
And
I
I'm trying to recruit some of these kids. So, hey,
I
I'm trying to get some good to play for me. So I'm going off early season. I got to put that out there.
I
Early season. If I ain't seen you yet.
I'm projecting that too, Eddie. You know, these girls are, you know, like who I think. But point guard who I thought is, you know, is right there. You know, I just get she's had it now. She's one I saw in the high school, Andrea Minor from Brandon.
Brandon,
Yeah, loved
Yeah.
her. You know, she's like she really ran, you know, ran the team well. And another tie, and I got several ties. Kennedy Davis from Pearl. Her, and, you know, she can run a team. She can shoot the basketball. As she continues to finish in traffic, she's got to do a better job of finishing in traffic. And I think the sky's the limit for Kennedy Davis. The next two is Haley Breland and Zykeria Anderson from Raymond. Raymond, I think she's, you know, is a lead guard who scores the basketball at a high clip. To me, I just need to see her shoot the ball a lot. You know, again, from three ball land. Haley Breland, I want to see her be able to finish left just like she does right. The next two, I would say, as a tie is going to Jackson State. Melanie Timms and Ariana Hunter. Those are my, I would say, number three, and I look at those as combo points. So that's why I got them in that mix. I really wanted to have, I just didn't tell you guys about this, have a whole nother list for combos because I put them even as like combos versus wings of points. But for the sake of this and sake of time, those two, and then the two top point guards for me, who I think that are to me as true generals. At number two from Meridian, Ariana Patton. I think she's the little general. She's one that is, you know, she's going to Jones next year, but I think she's a D1 talent all day long. She makes, you know, she'll be a kid for me that come off the bench if she was at a D1 to me right now and change the tempo. She's a tempo changer. She can just change the game. And I think and at number one, I think the overall best point guard in the state, when you just look at everything top to bottom, who can score at all three levels, who can distribute, and you know, and all of these are really close. And number one for me is Taylor Woodhouse from South Haven. She's having a, you know, a phenomenal year so far, and she's having a score for South Haven, but at Missouri State, she's not going to be asked upon to score that many points. I think she's going to be able to facilitate, and if she can get you, you know, but because of her scoring ability and shooting ability, she'll be able to get you 10 to 12 a game. So those are my five. Cordarius, who do you have as your 5 point guards?
Okay, I go off to you. I play along with y'all on this. I'll play along. At number 5, I have Jalecia Florence from Tupelo. If you're talking straight point guard, I got her at number 5. I ain't got to go into too much about her. She's a dog all over the court. She's a leader, a quiet leader, but she's a team very well on the court. Number 4, I got Ariana Hunter from Louisville. I'm gonna go ahead and play along with y'all today. You know, she got the accolades. She can score the ball. She's really a combo. So I'm gonna put her in at 4. Number 3, Zykeria Anderson. Put her in at number 3. She's a scoring guard. I've seen her facilitate well a couple times. Uh, I really like her game. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Kennedy Davis. I think she got a higher ceiling than the ones I just mentioned. I think she can really shoot the ball. She can get out and change. And I actually got a tie too because I do like Ariana Patton at Meridian. She's a scoring guard, but I just like guards that just got high motors and gonna play defense full court and they're just my opinion. There's no
Yeah.
knock on no kid. And Taylor Woodhouse at 1, South Haven can score at all 3 levels, facilitate the ball well, you know, at times. She just hard to guard when she can do all them things, and then she play defense. She get knocked in the mouth. She rebounds. She all over the floor. She dive for balls. She don't care about getting dirty. And I love I ain't gonna say high school. I ain't gonna say players are superstar, but on a particular team, she is the star. And I love for players to get down and dirty, and they are a star. So I gotta Taylor Woodhouse one.
That's a good list, man. I'm gonna be real quick because I know the boys segment is coming up next. At number 5, I have a tie. Zakiria Anderson, who we all know, the Dandy Dozen. She's another kid who should have a Division 1 look. I know she's on the cusp. We working on some things for her. Zakiria is one of the top scorers at the state. She can score, facilitate, get her teammates involved. Next, I got Kennedy Davis, one of the top point guards in the state. Obviously, Kennedy's been doing her thing for a while. She can shoot the basketball, plays in a really good system at Pearl. Tenacious, tough, good feel for the game. I just love Kennedy Davis there. So I got Kennedy Davis, Zakiria, a tie at 5. At number 4, you guys left out a really, really good point guard in Carly Keats from Choctaw Central. I love Carly Keats' game. She can shoot the basketball well. She is probably one of the highest IQ kids in the state. Plays really, really smooth. I love Carly Keith's game. So I got Carly Keith at number 4. Number 3, I don't know, Cordarius, if I would hit you, I may take your cap off, but EV, man, I slap him in his head for not having Taylor Felton, who he loves. He loves Taylor Felton. I got Taylor Felton at number 3, national ranked kid, the top point guard in the state. Been doing her thing for a while, has went out and played against some of the top kids in the country, Jelani Cambridge, Zamaria Jones, and competed against some of the best. So I got Taylor Felton from Clinton High School, 2024 player at number 3. At number 2, I've got Taylor Woodhouse from Taylor Woodhouse from South Haven. You guys all know about her and what she's done. We've talked about her enough on the show. I love Taylor's game. She's tough as nails, like you said, can score the ball, just gritty, grimy, and just a kid I think that's going to do well and represent Mississippi. I'm glad she's back in the SIP this year, so we get a chance to ride her off into the sunset. And then my number 1 point guard is the most accomplished player in the state of Mississippi. If you say most kids draw out what they want to accomplish. You say you want to win a state championship. Ariana Hunter's done that. You want to be a region player of the year. She was region player of the year twice. Mississippi North-South All-Star. She's done that. 2-time Dandy Dozen. Most girls have that on their list. She's done that. She'll be a Mississippi Alabama All-Star. Ariana Hunter has accomplished every single accolade that a kid can write out. There's nothing else and she's going to be up for Gatorade Player of the Year too. So that will be the only thing. So she's the most accomplished basketball player in our state, Ariana Hunter from Louisville High School. I do want to go give out a couple of shots before Evie closes out. Leah Jones from South Haven, the private school. I want to give a couple of shout outs, Evie, to some other kids before we go. You're going to UT Chattanooga. Leah Jones, she's at North Point Christian. A lot of people didn't know that. Was really shocking to me, but shout out to her. She's going D1 out of Mississippi. She's not on a lot of people's radar. We don't have her ranked on our Mississippi Play Sports ranking, but I did want to give her a shout out. Angela Middleton from Pontotoc and Sky Vaughn, respectfully. Angela's going to East Central with Latera Williams. We've got Sky Vaughn going to Mississippi College. There are new staff there, so I'm hoping that they do well. But I did want to shout out a couple of those kids that are going off to college. Taylor Dupree at UT Martin. She's a kid of mine. Taylor's just like one of my kids, one of my nieces. So we're really proud of her to watch her blossom from a middle school kid to now being able to go play college basketball. I don't know who else I'm missing. I know it's signing day, on the cusp of signing day. We had a lot of kids to sign. So we're really proud of all of the kids from Mississippi that have signed. I know we couldn't go through everybody tonight, but man, I'm really fortunate and appreciate you guys for having me on the show. And I love bringing awareness to Mississippi basketball, especially for our girls who've been left on the back burner for so many years.
Go ahead, Cordarius. What's your final words?
Man, hey, it was fun. I know I missed some players on that on that point guard like Melanie Taines. I just thought about I missed her, Carly Keats. Y'all bring it up. But hey, I was just going off the dome trying to play with y'all. I'm gonna let y'all people know that hey, you know, I ain't Eddie. You know, I ain't got a whole scouting service, so just trying off the dome. I'm trying to coach these kids. Man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm trying to get
you a hell of a coach, man. I'll give you that. You're a better coach than I'll ever be. But
man.
I'm really glad to be able to cover girls basketball and keep it at the forefront. Girls basketball is probably one of the bottom sports in terms of the pecking order. I think we prioritize football, baseball, boys basketball, soccer, and some other sports. So I'm just glad that EV took out the time to do what you're doing, my brother. I appreciate you and your show and your podcast. It's a blessing. Really, really privileged that you took out the time to invite me to the show. And man, you keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a really, really good thing, and I love your Geeker Report and some of the things that you're doing for girls here in the state of Mississippi, brother.
Well, man, I appreciate you guys for coming on. I thank everybody for watching. We have another show that we're getting ready to go live around 9:15. If you want to see the boys, the same thing, Talking Hoops in the SIP boys edition, getting ready to happen. But I really appreciate you guys. We'll be on, man, again next week. We're gonna have our Geekers Top 30 along with Eddie's Top 30 and Cordarius's Top 30. So we've already taped the show. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be able to see. We took some time to do that. That'll be on next week, and then after that, we'll come back a following week. Let's come back the following week, and let's do this again. And so this is not the end. We're going to see some more games by then. And so I'm excited about it, man. I appreciate you guys. I think that you guys are first-class individuals. And even for those of you who are watching, we're going to bring some more people on this show as well throughout the year. And, man, we just got to pray. Let's begin to pray. If you haven't already begun to pray for your children. Pray for this season with everything that's going on. We couldn't have a chance to talk about it tonight, COVID-19. And all those different things that's happening, that's threatening, our season for these kids. Let's begin to pray that, God, continues to, he's obviously on the throne and he's in control of all of this. And so, but we need to pray, and just so we can finish this season. I'll just say that. And so for Eddie Young and Cordarius Jones, I'm Coach EV, aka EV the Geeker, signing off from the Geeker Report podcast. Please have a great evening tonight.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Hey, EV.